What's up everyone, this is Cher talking, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll be doing yet another review of an off-banner style, this time for Tsubaki, a character for SaGa Scarlet Grace, and the first style that she receives in her universe. It's called No Mercy for Witches, and it's actually very strong because she can rank up damage and actually works against boss fights. Well, let's go to our srsdb.com, and here you can see that she has two focus. That means dexterity and intelligence, but with will being very high as well. The arrows goes for dexterity and intelligence with bonuses for both, and her endurance is not that good. That means that, yeah, she's gonna take a lot of damage from physical attacks, but can take some damage against magical ones, and will not be easily inflicted against status elements. It's also worth to note that most bosses that are mages will usually attack with status elements or magical attacks, and not exactly physical ones, at least not by design. Well, her agility is not so high, and she needed a better agility to debuff, so there is a problem at least. Well, for passives we have energized dexterity and will. On the start of a turn she gets a buff of 15% dexterity and will, and this is actually very good because her dexterity doesn't start so high. But does have goodwill, and she will be buffing those two status so that no status elements and decrease the damage against magical attacks and rank up damage as she goes as well. Then the second pass is called Iron Wall Defense 6. That one, yeah, that you can find in tanks, decreasing damage by 40%. Yeah, character that goes in boss fights and can decrease damage by that much. A premium passive indeed. And then the last one is called High Battle Tension, increasing damage by 20% and starts the fight with 11 VP. I'm pretty surprised by these combinations because Energize is something that you find in very good styles like the mage version of Barthélemy, or also in Apollo, in another character like Iskandar. Those characters are very strong in boss fights, and now an off-banner style gets the same treatment with also Iron Wall Defense. So, fully defensive and very strong against magical attacks at least. Even if she takes physical damage by Iron Wall Defense, she won't be hurt as many other normal characters. And only 20% passives, but that does not matter much. Right now we get most damage passives from our weapons, so it's actually a very good kit. And she buffs before attacking, so dexterity will take into consideration when she attacks. For her skills, she's pretty focused. All of them are based on single target attacks. Like the first one is called Paralyzing Trust for 2 BP only, so she can use it all the time. She deals D damage with 12 mod, and then there's a chance to debuff the target's dexterity. She's not a mage, of course, but her intelligence starts pretty high on 91%, and the value will get 15% on max value. We don't have that many dexterity buffers in the game. This attack was seen before in Darked. Actually, we have two versions of Darked that are premium. The UDX, that was the first one, and then we got the newest one that has column attacks. None of them have as much intelligence as Tsubaki, so the attack comes from the S style, as you see it here, so Tsubaki wins here, easily. And then we don't have that many other options for dexterity buff with Cheap Coast, but one of those is Yune. Yune has Wind Bloom from her third style. This one is just so good. It's AoE, she's a full mage and she buffs herself when attacking, so she will always be better because she may not need any type of buffer before she actually applies the dexterity buff. Now, in very hard challenges, Tsubaki won't have enough intelligence and may need help from either a token or Matriarch to get higher intelligence, but in normal scenarios she won't need. So, very good attack, because only 2 BP, it means she can even save 1 BP for something else later. Then the second skill is called Distortion. For 7 BP you get an enhanced power attack with 40 mod, and this one carries a chance to debuff intelligence by up to 20% on max level. Same applies, her intelligence on 91% is not bad at all, and she will be debuffing intelligence most of the time. You may need to debuff will on the target sometimes if it's a mage, because you are trying to debuff intelligence anyway. The attack itself is not bad, but right now we have plenty of attacks with 39 mod and 6 BP coast, but it still works and she can use it 2 times in a row. Yeah, because of High Battle Tension. So on the start of a fight she will help by debuffing 2 times 20%, The problem with Distortion is that after you use it 2 times, you cannot use it again before 2 or 3 turns on average, because she only gets VP by a turn. Unless you bring someone that can also give VP to the party, you're going to have to wait for the 3rd turn to be able to debuff Intelligence again. So she cannot be your main Intelligence debuffer if the fight requires constant debuffs, but can at least start with a good volley. Then the last attack is called Eulogy. For 11 BP, you get a triple S attack with 61 mod that has a chance to instant kill. Well, I don't think that the instant kill part is so interesting. I guess they just did this attack because they wanted something that could benefit from high intelligence as well. But to be honest, we even have a Welfare Platinum style Miriam. It has a little less intelligence. She is a mage, but she has a Scorch that also gets medium chance to instant kill, and it's even lower cost. With only 9, she can instant kill. Well, when you look on the skills, they may not seem so interesting, but combined with all of her passives, this kit really works. Remember that she gets Dexterity and Will buffs every turn before she attacks. And then, when using Paralyzing Trust, she will be buffing her Dexterity together, and debuffing the Dexterity of the target. I guess she works much better when using this role as a Dexterity debuffer than as an Intelligence debuffer, because by saving 1 BP, you get to Overdrive and will be able to use Eulogy, and on the second Overdrive, you will still be able to use Eulogy again, and that will contribute to damage even though she is a debuffer. Now, if she wants to play with Intelligence debuffs, she really needs help and won't work by herself. That is true. On farming, I don't think she's a very good unit, because she does have a good opener, but then after that, doesn't help too much. You can at least use Distortion 2 times if there is an event with only 1 enemy. And maybe she won't contribute with much, but still helps out somehow. Well, Tsubaki gets a future style later, and this one is pretty far from the future. JP just got it. Has a focus on Dexterity and Will again, with Agility being a little better this time, with Intelligence being lower, but not by much. She has a 2 BP attack that this time does not debuff Dexterity. If you don't need, this one is okay. She can still debuff Intelligence, but this time for AoE with 6 BP. With the 3rd attack being double utility, she debuffs 20% Intelligence from the target and buffs everyone's Will by 30. Kinda reminds me a little of how Nadart was used to buff the Will from the squad, but she can even debuff. So there's that. She also gets 1 BP by turn. That means she can use the skill number 3 more often, or even the skills from Inheritance. Well, that is that for Tsubaki. She is a double S tier in our tier list. Maybe niche, but works pretty well on the niche that she fills. With that said, this is my opinion. What is yours? Have you gotten Tsubaki? Have you started using her already? Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to support the channel, there are links on the description of the video. I hope to see you soon in the next one. Bye.